Hey, it's Justin Morrison here, and today I'm reviewing the Sony 24-70 f2.8 G Master lens on behalf of BestBuy.ca. As you can see, this is not a small lens. Generally 24 to 70 mil lens, they're sort of a standard telephoto lens. They're usually pretty hefty lenses, especially when you're dealing with one that has a maximum aperture of f2.8. It's a really versatile lens. It's a very popular lens, for example, with wedding photographers, because you can shoot portraits at, say, 70 mil, or you can shoot wide angle shots, sort of candids, at, you know, some of the wider focal lengths like 24 to 35 mil. Lots of good features on this lens. As you see with most Sony lenses now, they have this focus hold button here, which you can consign, or to which you can assign, a number of different features. So very handy to have that customizable button right there on the barrel. You also have the autofocus to manual focus switch. I find this actually not my favorite part about Sony lenses, this switch. I would like if there was another way that you could switch between manual and autofocus. This one is just a bit of a finicky little switch. You also have this lock button right here. Now this is to lock the lens and prevent it from sometimes when they are, I don't know if this one will do it. No, it won't do it. But sometimes the barrel will actually extend just under its own weight. So as you can see, that is quite a difference when it is extended. But if you want to store the lens and you don't want the barrel to move, you can simply lock with this switch right here, and then it won't move. Notice that that lock switch can only take effect at 24 mil when the barrel is fully compressed. One of the other features I want to point out here, you get this lovely lens hood, which also has a locking mechanism right here. So you can't move it until you press this lock button, and then you can take it off. I will admit that I did attempt to take it off without pressing this button first, just because I wasn't used to having that button there and I was wrestling with it. So be careful if you do buy this lens to always use the little switch when you're taking it off. That's kind of it really in terms of features. There's not much else on the barrel in terms of controls that you need to know about. There is not, for example, an aperture ring, which I've seen on a lot of Sony lenses lately. So a pretty straightforward lens in terms of operation. In terms of image quality, I was very happy with this lens, as expected. A G Master lens from Sony is their high-end, top-of-the-range, best lenses. So if you see this little bronze G on a lens, you know you're dealing with a top-quality lens. Sony do expect that this lens will be used with high resolution cameras, something like an A7R, for example, where they have a larger than normal resolution sensor. So if you use this lens in conjunction with a camera that has a very high resolution sensor, you're going to get that much more detail in your images. This is helpful, for example, if you want to sort of crop in on a certain aspect or a certain part of an image and still have something that looks really good and sharp and clear. This wouldn't be a lens I would go to for videography. It's quite heavy. I prefer a lighter lens. I prefer prime lenses, actually, for video work. But there's no reason you couldn't use this for video work. And in fact, in a documentary setting, for example, it might be really handy to have that, that zoom so that you can work in a number of different focal lengths. But that being said, there is no image stabilization on this lens. So, you know, you're going to have to use a camera probably that has inbuilt image stabilization. or for example a gimbal. But all in all, I would have to say this is a quality lens. It's not a cheap lens, but what you get for your money is very, very high image quality, and actually a very well built, very robust lens that will stand up to a little bit of abuse, a little bit of a little bit of moisture isn't going to ruin this lens, a little bit of dust isn't going to ruin this lens. So a pretty good investment if it suits your needs. As I said, a very good all-around versatile lens, and one that offers excellent image quality. On behalf of the Best Buy blog, this is Justin Morrison. Until next time, peace out.